Greetings and welcome to a drawing stuff video with Paul Yeatman. In today's video I am drawing a dragon's eye and I will discuss a little of what I am doing and perhaps why as I go along. If you stick around to the end you'll see how the drawing might look following some simple photo manipulation. Hi there, I am Paul Yeatman, a scientist by day and an illustrator and graphic designer by night. Here I draw stuff, mostly original characters. For 2021 I am mostly doing my version of style challenges. This means it is my take on a style without being an identical look. Sometimes, like this month, it's a genre challenge. In these videos I show the drawing process that occurs typically after the thumbnail development stage through to the completed work. Typically that involves a pencil sketch, inking with fine liner and finally colouring using markers, pencil and sometimes Photoshop. Mostly I offer these up as time lapses, mostly. If this sounds like something that would float your boat or provide you with inspiration, sketch ideas or instruction, activate the subscribe button and hit like right now. Also comment with feedback or requests. Okay, let's get into the drawing, which is what you came here for. You've seen me do the grey lead and I've moved into fine liner. Typically, as I've stated, my process is pencil then fine liner. Mostly I do these based on thumbnails. This drawing today is based on a pencil sketch I did probably 10 years ago. That informed the scale pattern and the overall look. What I do now after the fine liner is scan it in. So basically I take that to my flatbed scanner / printer, scan it in, rotate it, save it using a logical naming format in a sensible filing system. Then I'll bring the drawing back onto my camera stage and colour it in. So some flesh tones for I guess what would be the fleshy sections. Normally I won't colour in eyes with colour as in the whites, but I have today. And I'll also do a bit of shadow. I'll apply that to pretty much everywhere. And then I'll move to, if I remember correctly, I coloured in the scales first. Nope, I went and did the eyes. So two-tone eye colour. Couple of different oranges, and then I used another orange just to do some highlighting or extra detail on the iris section of the eye. You see where I go through here and add some slightly darker colours. And with this eye, which is what I don't normally do, I've not coloured the highlight at the start. Normally I would add that sort of thing at the end of the drawing. Add a little bit of yellow to the eye just to give it a bit more volume, and then I go through and colour in the scales. With my colouring in the scales, I'm not colouring in certain spots just to show highlights as well. I will add some highlights at the end with the gel pen, but overall most of the highlights here are left in as part of the actual colouring process. So, because they're scales and there's highlights nearly every one, that implies that they're all slightly domed. Once I go through the base colour here, I will pick a slightly darker green and go through and place shadows on pretty much every single scale. And I'll also apply some shadow under the actual eye, which could imply that it's just sitting out into the space on its own because it's got a shadow. You could chop and paste this into another drawing or copy and flip the eye and put it onto a face that's facing towards camera, which is what I'll do in Photoshop, and we'll see that quite soon. So the very last bit was adding some white highlighting with the gel pen. I don't think that came out too well because the pen's being a shit, but anyway. So here's our final eye coloured in. Here's what I did in Photoshop, just flipping, multiplying, and voila. So yes. If you found this interesting, informative, entertaining, you were inspired to draw in your own sketchbook, etc., subscribe, like and share. If you were inspired to draw, share with me your creations in the comments or by tagging me on social media. Until next time, you have been watching Drawing Stuff with me, Paul Yeatman. Ciao, take care and happy drawing.